Welcome to this series where we are playing the 1.8 version of Reforged Eden. And in the last part, we were out exploring the dead planet, looking for general resources, and we covered a lot of the planet, but there's still quite a lot of potentially very good resources still out there. So later on, we will be looking at that. But in this part, what I want to do is focus on my CV, which I'm in the process of rebuilding, and I better start by giving you an update because there's been a lot of change. And if we come in here, apologies that it's a bit dark. And in the last part, we were laying out the hangar here. There's still a little bit open plan. And what I've done since then is I've completed the back section here, put some thrusters in down here. We got a few gaps that still need to be plugged. In here, what I've done is I've moved some of the constructors, oxygen tanks, the cargo containers back here. I've put the gravity generator there because I couldn't think of anywhere else to put it. And I've kind of duplicated on each side now. And what I've also done is brought the food processor down here and have two fridges. One is for raw food, one is for finished food and medication. I've now put the warp drive in and put it behind armored glass. And then if I come through the tunnel here, I'm certainly going to have to do some texturing. And what you see here is I've kind of built in the lower room here. I've put a couple of vanities in. I've put the shower in the middle here. And I've started to shape in this area here. And then what I've done is I've put a boarding ramp here, which is something I do like, is to have the boarding ramp at the front, which means I've taken away the side doors. And then I did consider putting staircases, but I thought I'd just go with a straight block ramp, because one of the problems with staircases is whether they are able to contain oxygen. Can't remember the other word for it. Up here, I've built my farm and laid this out. So we've now got capacity of 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. So that's 36 grow plots here. I've got my roof access up through here. And then round the back here, I've got my machine room. Now this looks quite big, but what I've left here is a space. At the moment I've got my kind of small shield in here, but I've left enough space here to put in the full-size shield generator, which is over here. But I'm kind of putting off actually building this at the moment because I'm not sure what we're going to do. And of course down here we've also got all the extra shielding. We're probably not going to get all that into this ship. What I've done is I've got the pentaxid tank here. I've put the scanner at the back here. We got the extender there, and we've got two generators and some fuel tanks and oxygen in here. So that is the current state of play. Of course, at the moment, the front of the ship looks a little bit open plan. It's probably the polite way of saying it. And what I've got to do now is start the process of shaping the ship in. At the moment, it's very blocky, but you can see that we're now starting to get the basic shape put together. I've kind of got a row of blocks here, but I'm kind of a bit inclined that maybe I'll trim these front blocks back, so that we can shape the ship in, because we can drop the ship down onto this area here. And of course we've got to start bringing in the side parts here as well. But the first thing I want to do though is something else, which is, well, let's get it down off the ship. And that is that I want to do a little bit of preparation work for from down here. Of course we can use the front ramp, just put it down, which means I can ship here. And what I want to do is, well, we're going to need to take some stuff out of the this base, because I mean I've already got one warp drive, but there's two other warp drives inside. Now I want to deconstruct one, but the other thing I also want to do is work towards I mean I've thought about whether building a SV from scratch, but I'm starting to think that what I might want to do is build this one. It's not a highly upgraded one because it's only unlocked level 12. So what I'm considering is building this in the workshop. It won't take that much because you can see it's not tier 3. It doesn't have any optronics bridges. Buried inside. Oh, haha. I've messed that up, haven't I? I forgot I put my ship in the hangar. And we're going to need the ship to get up to reach the bits that I want to work with. Yeah, because all the really good stuff is up about here. So to be able to access it, what we're going to have to do is kind of park about here. And we have to stand on the ship. We're going to, I think what we'll do is we'll hook to building supplies. And then we're going to open up this area here. We can kind of get inside. Don't really need the door. And if we come into here, I wonder, we've got a couple of large fuel tanks. I certainly want to retrieve large fuel tanks. Got a couple of RCSs, a little bit of fuel buried inside as well. There is the first warp drive. And what we're going to retrieve the first warp drive. We've got a pentaxid tank there. We'll retrieve that. What we've also got is a couple of large generators. I want those. Want those large fuel tanks. We'll probably salvage that one. That one. We got that there. We can. A bit of water. And what we got here, an oxygen station. We'll get rid of that. You need a lot more. Oh, these are carbon composite. They could be useful. Oh, we're going to take those. Deconstruct some of those. Now, these are the base extenders. It says CPXO extender advanced. The trouble with this is it's a base extender. It's not a CV extender, which is a little bit unfortunate, but we'll retrieve these because I think we might have a use for those from the RCS there. Just salvage these out for the advanced electronics. Large capacitor. You can see there's so many. We'll grab this. Let's check something. Got 3, so I like to have an even number of things in my ship, so we'll take that. Whoops. Oh, that's the one we've already done, isn't it? Take these out. Another large fuel tank there. Salvage these. I mean, there's just so much resources in this ship. And of course, if you push for carbon substrate, what you do is just deconstruct the actual bits and pieces. Just take that. And that will give you the carbon substrate. Where's the other warp drive then? I'm sure it said that there was 2 warp drives in here. And of course we got a whole load of grow plots. What we'll do is we'll deconstruct these nutrient solutions. We've already got piles of these anyway, so deconstruct this in here. Oh, look at that growth. we'll take that. Take these again. If you're putting a farm together, these would give it, but of course I've already got the grow lights from another place. So okay. I'm a bit confused because I'm sure it said, did I misread that? Did it tell me? And of course, because I've pulled out the block, you can see we've got a bit of an issue now with the let's have a look here. Still got some more large generators in here. Says we've still got a warp drive in here. I'm not exactly sure where that warp drive actually is. It's a lot lower. It's in the booster section. Oh wow, didn't know it's down here. Okay. Oops. We need lots and lots of steel blocks. We'll take these whole so I can dump them in the workshop. That might be the better way of doing it. Because of course if you dump stuff in the workshop as whole components, not only do you get more resources, you also get a benefit in the sense that there's the warp drive there, there's the other warp drive. You also get a benefit in the sense of reduced construction time in the workshop. It's actually better to kind of take everything out best you can. Whoops. We need a lot more blocks, so we're just going to salvage these RCSs. Leave the steel blocks. What have we got here? Offline protection. Don't need that, but if you were playing multiplayer, you would need it. I've forgotten how many RCSs are in this place. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Well, we can that. The sentry gun there, we're tree view. Of course, we got all the contain. This one. Okay. What was that? Oh, take that. Oh, well, okay, we'll salvage them now. I thought I'd done them all. Obviously, there's even more in here. But pace is just take them apart, just to make sure that you manage to take them all. Put some more blocks up here. Work our way up. Looks like there's a small generator here. We'll deconstruct you. And you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you. Oops, I'm not sure what I deconstructed there, but what we got here, wow. Loads and loads of fridges, which I don't need. I've got 4 fridges already. Okay, what we got here? Spoiled food because I didn't empty it. Work our way up through. Oops. Oh wow, not too much worried about you. We've got some more oxygen tanks, fuel tanks in here to give us cobalt alloy and some other bits and pieces. Let's pick up some carbon substrate as well. certainly got some large fuel tanks in here. Anyway, I think we've probably got enough to be going on with. There's still a lot more stuff in there that needs to be picked up. Well, I'll just land on the top now. Now the ship is big enough for what we want to do. Right. We need some food. We seem to go through a lot of food and oxygen. Small construct. That in there. That in building supplies. That off. And then we're this stuff in the ammunition. Oops, don't want that. That's an advanced constructor. Dump that into there. CPU advanced. What I'm going to do now is stuff like this, which you see here. It says base. We probably don't need the advanced constructor. I'm going to keep one of the warp drives at the moment and one of the pentaxid tanks. We've got 3 large generators. The cargo boxes we don't really need. I only want 4 of those. I can just shove that in there because we're going to need that for other stuff. Okay. And what we're going to do is, right now, to get this stuff into the workshop, what you need to do is just choose a great big capital vessel. Something that you're never going to build, but actually no, let's just choose something a little bit better, then you can see what go in. So at the moment we don't have very much. So if I put in the CPU advanced core, is what we got there. We didn't get any optronics bridges. It's a little bit disappointing, but see, straight away we're getting sathium, neodymium, and which is, these are all resources which can be quite difficult to find there, but by putting these in, what we're actually doing is just filling that up. That's the reason why you want to strip everything you can out of this ship, especially the high value stuff. We better go and get some food and some more oxygen. Because of course at the moment we don't have any internal oxygen to live on. We've got to keep an eye on that. So we'll just come down here. Fill that up. Go to the fridge. Food and meds. What should we have? Got quite a lot of these thingies. Now, what I would like to do is come in here. Got these small tanks. And this was put in like kind of temporary. So actually what I could do, oops, don't want that. This is going to be the outer wall of the ship. It probably will be. So let me just come into here. Yeah. Holding supplies. And I'm gonna do. I want to leave enough space here for repair stations. So we've got that on this side, which will take up that space. We've got this can go above. Can I get? Got a container there. What I want to do is move that medium one away from the oxygen tanks. So if I do something like and put another one there. You don't need to empty the fuel tanks when you're messing about like this. As long as you leave enough capacity, you don't lose any actual oxygen, not oxygen, what am I on about? You don't actually lose any fuel or oxygen as long as the capacity continues to exceed what you're actually doing. So the only thing is, don't be frightened when this drops down if you put a great big tank in like that. And I want to do the same with the oxygen tanks. What I'd like to do is put them up quite high at the back here. So we've got the side thruster there, but I want to put some O2 tanks at the top there. I think I've still got some. If I haven't, it's going to be slightly embarrassing. But we can still move them around if necessary. It doesn't look like... Oh, yes, I have. There they are. I want is an O2 tank right at the back there. And I'm going to take away... Keep this one. And one there. What that does is it leaves the space in here, as I say, for a deconstructor or a repair bay, which we haven't got at the moment. So that is there. And I think what I need to do now is we've got these down thrusters over here. We've got the shape of the ship here. And I'm kind of thinking got quite a lot of space here. And I want the ship to... I think I need to get the shape of the ship at the front here. So back in. And we're too far away. The ship's quite long now. I need to shape in this part of the ship. It'd be a little bit blocky. But we got... Actually, we can... let me just work this out. I think this... I've got to put a couple more lateral thrusters on. And of course we need braking thrusters as well. If I show you there, come in here. The one direction that we haven't got, we've got lift thrusters. We got all the lift thrusters. We got 4 at the back here, 4 here. They're well protected. We've got the 6 thrusters pushing us. We've got 1 lateral thruster there and 1 down thrusters on each side and 2 smaller thrusters just there. Kind of wondering if I need a couple more these smaller thrusters at the front. Maybe I will go... Actually, no, we'll leave that because I've got to get the other lateral thrusters in. I'd like to have some thrusters. Trying to think where I can put the thruster in. We're probably going to come out 2 blocks here. So if I take out, say, a block there is another piece there. So let me over at the right. 1, 2, 3. It's the middle of the 5. No, okay. There's 1 out. That in there. Out more, not small thrusters. I want the medium thrusters. you there. We'll just auto group those. So that kind of fills that in there, and what we can do is I need to do it this way to get everything in sync first. That. And then I'm gonna come here, put the nose of the ship, turn that off. Press not B, N. Symmetry plane. This is where we got to get a little bit serious. I'm going to put a lot of blocks on. And I'm going to put all that area in there. That there. Trying to get quite a big plate here because I'm still thinking about solar panels. Need to come in from there. Kind of thinking, think like that there. No, that's probably come back a little bit too far. Is there any downside of using this? Actually, gonna need braking thrusters. Let's see if we can get a shape in. Sometimes you just got to rough out the general shape first and then kind of refine it over time. So if we come to, actually I could come in like that. No, that's not going to be enough, is it? So if we could take out that. I mean, the ship isn't going to look massively elegant because I don't want to spend too much time working on it because I am going to be chain editing it again in the future. This is not the final shape of the ship. Because eventually it will become a space platform. And then maybe we'll have a little bit of a change in pitch here. We'll come like that. Probably could do with blocking this out because that one there is a bit weak. And we put you there. Let's fill in. So that kind of brings the ship in. I think if we put a triple band like that there, and then on the inside got that area there. I'm deliberately trying to leave some space here so that we could possibly put extra storage in here should we need it, but at the same time I don't know, that's not going to be that weak, is it? So we've got that kind of curved in at that level. We could shape up the ship this way. I think put in one more band on this side like that. And then come out. So this ship is not really intended to fight major battles, so it's not going to be armored to the teeth. like it would be if it was a combat CV. It's going to be more. If we put that in there like that, then we can start thinking. We certainly need to put in that bit there. It's that bit. So this is kind of getting. I think we'll just leave this as a ragged edge at the moment. Certainly going to need to fill in that bit, make the hangar airtight. I think we will have that kind of running across like that. Means that we can then put in something like that, which means we're could leave that bit there, or we could, no, I think we'll sharpen up this area here, so we'll leave that, those two bits back, that bit there, take it out on this side, and this side like that. Put you there and there. That recreated. Yeah, so that's now got that bit there. Certainly put in this one. Whoops. Put that there. That will fill in this kind of corner. We need to work on that. We do need to get us some kind of ledge across the top there. Next thing, we need a row of blocks here, so out to about there and there and there. We need to make this area airtight down to about there. I think what we'll do here is there's some, where are they? Kind of bring back like that there, and just a bit kind of symmetrical like that, and like that. That creates a kind of visual effect over there. Could take out, actually, yeah, we could take out the corner pieces. Leave that one, do it on the other side as well. I'm sure there's one, that's, I think it's this one, isn't it? Just see. Could be, sometimes with these, it can be a little bit difficult to actually see what you're looking at. And you can put one in like that, one in like that, and then where's the thingy bob again? That's not the, that one. That in there. Of course, what that means is that there will be a little bit of a kind of a curve above there, but I'm quite happy with that. And what that will do is seed in. Actually, I've just had a thought. Let me just see. Oh, we got to put the braking thrusters in, haven't we? Forgotten all about those. I think there's an angle there, so if I retrieve that block there. What level's that? Same level as the side thruster. Put that in there. Actually, I think I've still got enough to take out that side. I think we're, with the sheer amount of size of what this ship's becoming, I think we're gonna need, oops, keep there. So that gives us a braking capacity. We just into here, auto group, and the thrusters off. Actually, you're going to leave the thrusters on. I want to look at the stats. I want to make sure that. So at the moment, we've got quite a lot of lift, a lot of thrust. Lateral thrusters aren't going to win any awards. We've got a bit of braking thrusters, down thrusters. So we're going to need to do a little bit with the lateral thrusters. Got a hole in the roof here. Okay. So we got 1, 2 there. How's the CPU? We're up to haha. Okay, we're gonna have to live with what we got, because I think I've got a few more bits and pieces I'd like to put on. So we're gonna have to see if that is gonna be enough. Because we got some turrets to put on, which I suppose I should think a little bit about now. So we need to put the turrets back on. And what I'm thinking is 1, 2, 3, yeah. Kind of. I want to keep this open. So I suppose we can make it look a bit better shaped. Preview the other side as well. So we can come into here. And we think that. Put you like that. And where's my turrets? I was hoping to put a couple of extra turrets on, but we may be a little bit squeezed. We could put a turret. Put a turret there. How's the CPU now? 385,000. I think what I was hoping to do is put a side-mounted minigun turrets. Let me just see. This might be a little bit too much. Have a look. 398. Yeah. That is just gonna have to live with the 3 top turrets. This is until I can get a, because just to show you, if we make a, we need another level of extender, which is we got one of that, the basic extender. To do this, we're going to need each one of these is going to need 8 large optronics bridges. So we're going to have to find some optronics bridges to carry on extending. Now, while this planet is very generous, I seriously doubt we're going to have the optronics bridges to be able to do what we're talking about. So we're going to have to be a little bit more circumspect now. And we're just going to think if I can... We're just going to keep this simple for the moment. Oops. Block in you there. I'll just mark out so kind of fill this in a bit like that for the moment. We're going to need to transition this into that. And of course, what we've got to do now is work a little bit on the front of the ship. I think I'm going to need to change position to do that because I'm too far back. Running out of oxygen again. Actually, do I have a ventilator? It's technically this interior hole is now. I've got a bit of a hole gap there. I think we're in. So technically the hangar is now airtight. So we've now finished this section here. Go and get some oxygen before I die. This is all airtight. There's no ventilator in here, but that's okay. Place looks as grim as heck. Let me just go out here. We need to bring in the floor. We've got this area here. I think what we'll do is we'll take out these blocks on each side. And just to match the ship, we need to come in start with these blocks. So come back to out there and just fill this bit in here. There. My instinct is to put in one block there. Flip my finger there. So here, move that on this side as well. I think what I need to do is build the ship back. So we got the shape of the nose here. So if I keep it simple, you there. Keep building in my favorite blocks. And come into there. Just had a thought. How thick are these? These are only single block thick. And this is kind of coming in like that. This is a bit exposed, so I think I've just run out of blocks actually. Yeah, we're gonna have to find some more blocks. Just occurred to me that we're gonna need to protect the what we call it. We're gonna need to bring a spine out. Possibly from there, and then in front of this, I have to put. That's the finger deck, so let's make sure that that is it. Yes, that will close up into there. So that will come into there. So we need to make sure this is protected. So that so we're gonna need to make this into solid blocks as well. Right, we're gonna need some more blocks, lots of. And I've just realised that I've effectively run out of time on this video. What I'm going to do, guys, is that obviously this isn't going to be particularly that exciting because I'm just blocking in this area here. So what I'll do is I'll go and get some more blocks from the base next to us, and then what I'll do is I'll work on finishing the ship and tidying it up off camera. But until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.